Hey, dear listeners, welcome to the third episode of the Itch and Scratch Show, the podcast that is a fusion of inspiration and self discovery. I hope you're ready to scratch that creative itch and reignite that spark in both your personal and professional lives. I'm your host, Sheekha Singh. I have been a huge fan of this topic for a very long time. There have been innumerable times when I have heard people say they're busy or cannot find time for things that they love. They are, and you cannot see me doing this, but I'm having the air quotes. They are busy to call a friend, busy to check on a family member, or busy to start painting again, or too busy to just open a book and start reading again. So, today we will talk about how there's never ever enough time in a day and what can be done to find time for things you love. In 2015 and 2016, I was lost. I did not know who I was and I blamed everything else around me except myself. I would go to the office, work from 8 o'clock to 4 p.m., go to school to get my master's degree, and the classes would be from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. I would get back to the apartment, cook, eat, work on assignments, sleep, and repeat. I forgot who I was and I was lost. I was lost. I thought this is what adults do. That hustle culture, that rat race, that trying to earn more money whilst getting a degree, and then trying to balance everything was the death of my individuality. I never had time for my hobbies. I never had time to do anything that I loved or used to love. It wasn't until later that I realized I was dependent on others for my happiness. And guess what I did? I blamed everything and everyone around me for taking up my energy and time. It felt awful. To be honest, I did not like who I was at that time. And I knew I had to do something to feel myself again, to feel happy and to feel worthy. And so I decided to get back on my hobbies. I decided to spend time and I decided to put in effort and stop blaming others for not having enough time. I know that you're gonna say, hey Shikha, I work a 9 to 5 job, I have kids, I have chores, I have responsibilities, I have to work out, I have to have a work life balance. Where exactly is the time for hobbies? So, guess what? I'm here to tell you how to find time for hobbies. The first thing that I did was started to take everything slowly. I got into my hobbies one day at a time, 10 minutes at a time. I know it's not the recommended time. I know it's not possible for everyone. I know it takes a lot, but it's going to be worth it. I started to incorporate workouts. I tried yoga for the first time and I fell in love with it. Heck, I even went on a yoga retreat to Nicaragua. Who knew? And you know what? I have not stopped doing it. I started to dance again at every opportunity that I got. I was starting to write blogs again, and it felt amazing. I now dedicate time for everything that I love doing, and it's not just for my hobbies. I travel, I write, I try different workouts. I tried Pilates for the first time. I tried rock climbing last week. I even started playing table tennis with my friends. I now try different cuisines, different restaurants. I try local beer when I'm in a different town or a different city. But you know what? That's enough about me. We are here to help you find and carve out time for things that you love. So, what about you? When was the last time you did something you used to love? Or what did you love when you were a child? When was the last time you actually spent time alone thinking about what you like besides answering emails and attending meetings? I want to ask you, when was the last time you've actually spent an hour for your favorite thing in the world? I know you're going to come up with excuses. I know you have valid reasons. And I know because you have to juggle between things, relationships, commitments, friendship, and a lot of other things. I know your schedule is jam packed, but I just want you to think about that feeling the last time you did what you loved. How did you feel when you painted? How did you feel when you danced? How did you feel the last time you read a novel in peace? Or how did you feel when you were baking that cake? Hobbies could be anything. There are a range of hobbies. And it's actually proven that hobbies are important because they provide us with a way to express our individualism. They give people a sense of self and presence in this chaotic, noisy, and this busy world. And you know what? It actually feels super relaxing and amazing when you do things that you love. Take it from me. Have I convinced you enough to just do something that you love? Just to spend 15 minutes of your time actually for yourself, for what you like, without any distractions, without any responsibilities? Like, I just want you to feel empowered to spend 15 minutes to think about what you love or try doing what you used to love when you were a child. Okay, so you're gonna ask me, okay, Sheekha, I'm convinced I'm gonna make time for myself, but how do I make time? I have some ideas. That's what I'm here for, and that's what the podcast is all about. So, here are some tips on how to actually make time for your hobbies and how to find time for your hobbies as an adult. Cut out distractions. It could be kids, it could be pets, it could be anything. I know the world is not going to end. It feels like it would if you don't give your 100% to your family, to your friends, to your pets, to your everything. But I'll tell you what, it's not worth not doing what you love. It is not worth that pressure. So cut out distractions for once and actually focus on figuring out what you like and what you love. Be realistic about your activities. Start slow. Take it one day at a time. Take it 1 month at a time. Like if you decide on painting or sketching, then do it once a month or do it once in 2 months and notice how you feel. And when I say start slow, I mean start dedicating shorter intervals of time for your hobbies. Just 15 minutes. It is going to take a lot in the beginning because you are used to a routine and you could be someone who doesn't like change. So don't be afraid of change. Don't be afraid to go back to what you loved once upon a time. The most important tip is to reflect on your childhood activities and your childhood hobbies. How did that make you feel? For me, it was writing. Every time I wrote a blog post, I wrote an article, I just jotted down my experiences. That gave me a lot of happiness. That feeling was completely different. So when I reflected on my childhood activities, I realized two things. One, I love being outdoors. Two, I like writing. I realized that jotting down my thoughts or my opinions or anything that goes on in my mind on a piece of paper or here, obviously, typing on a keyboard gave me immense happiness. So I started dedicating time to writing. I started dedicating time to being outdoors, irrespective of the weather. So find out what that was for you. What were you good at when you were a child? It could be anything, it could be stupid. It doesn't have to make sense, it just has to make you happy. I just want you to feel how you felt years ago. The next step would be prioritize your time. I asked a friend of mine how she managed to carve out time for her yoga teacher training, for her conferences, for her workouts, her hikes. And she said, everyone has 24 hours in a day, and it's on you to find out and prioritize what you love. And it kind of made sense. She said, what does that hobby mean to you? If you really love it, you will make time for it. Manage your time. Start with 15-minute windows. I know I've said this earlier too, but this has helped me. 15 minutes is all you need to feel happy again and to feel yourself. Just do it. Spend 15 minutes on yourself. It doesn't have to be expensive. It doesn't have to take up most of your time in your day. It doesn't have to be exhausting. Just spend 15 minutes for what you love. Is that really too hard? You cannot be too busy to carve out 15 minutes for yourself. Find your tribe. If you were someone who used to love hiking, who used to love going on trips, on vacations, holidays, or on different group activities, then go find your tribe. There are so many options out there these days on the internet. So many retreats, so many places that offer a variety of programs for different kinds of activities. So find your tribe. Sign up for a class. I can vouch for this. If you try something new that you have never done, even if it's for 30 minutes or 45 minutes, that feeling of being a beginner and learning something new in a room full of strangers is so rewarding. You have this wave of emotions where you might feel embarrassed, or you might feel super happy because you're better than the others, or you might be competing with your own self. But I am telling you, it makes a huge difference to your mental health, everything, your physical health, your mental health, when you sign up for a class with a room full of strangers and get support. I cannot emphasize this enough. If you are someone who has a lot of responsibilities on your plate, get support. If you are giving me the excuse that you have kids or pets or some other huge responsibilities, then I'm going to tell you, get support. It's not that difficult. It doesn't have to be every day. Once a month, twice a month, once in 3 months, once a quarter, whatever. Just get support for 15 minutes. Take that responsibility off of your shoulder for 15 minutes and do it. Just do it. The last tip, make it happen. I cannot stress this enough. Find time, do it. If you really loved what you used to do in the past, or you really miss that person, that kind of personality that you had when you were young, when you were doing all the things that you loved, why have you stopped it? Do it again. You might not love what you used to do earlier, and you might realize that it's no longer supporting you or your journey, or you're no longer enjoying it. You don't have to follow it through. You don't have to stick to it. That's the beauty of it. You can find a new hobby anytime. So my tip for you today is going to be, just make it happen. By prioritizing hobbies, you are prioritizing yourself. And that is a huge fucking deal. And now you're going to be like, hey, Sheekha, okay, you've told me how to make time, but what are some of the hobbies that I could do as an adult, or I could find as an adult? Fear not, I have a list. You could start painting. You could learn how to start gardening. Learn pickleball. That's the hype and the trend these days. Try creative writing. Or put together some puzzles. 1,000-piece puzzle. 500-piece puzzle. Start with a 10-piece puzzle. Make jewelry. Take up running. Run a marathon. Start a blog. Play chess. Play games. Pottery. Painting. Sketching. Hiking. Journaling. Knitting. Make your own damn soap or a candle. Dye fabrics. Go skating. Go rollerblading. Go skiing if you've never done that before, or if that was something that you used to do before. Practice nail art. Go rock climbing. I did that. Amazing. It humbles you down. Take up golf. Or if you're bougie, try interior designing. Try designing a space for your office or learn a new language. That's always amazing. I have heard there are a ton of benefits to learning a new language. Here's another interesting one: press flowers and leaves. Poetry. Ooh, here's a nice one: calligraphy. DIY. There are so many videos on YouTube, blogs, and Pinterest, and ideas that you could get for DIYing stuff around your house. There's a lot of stuff that you can do in your free time, but you have to free up your time to try all of this. So go out there, get some inspo, get inspired by someone else, go join a group, go for a retreat, meet new people, make new connections, find yourself again. I am always here to support you in this journey. I just want you to remember one thing. In the end, give yourself permission to feel amazing. Allow yourself to feel like you again. And I want to leave you with a thought. I want you to think about this today. Who are you without your job? What do you like to do outside your full time job? And again, remember, you're not alone in this journey. We are here to support each other and grow together. As we wrap up this episode, I encourage each one of you to reflect on your thoughts and the things that you missed doing. Challenge yourself to do something you haven't done before, or challenge yourself to start doing something you stopped doing a while ago. As always, remember that you're worthy, you're capable, and you are on a journey of continuous growth. Thank you for joining me on the Itch and Scratch Show. If you found this episode valuable, please share it with someone who you think might benefit from it. Don't forget to subscribe for more empowering content. If you did start doing something, or if you went back to a hobby after listening to this podcast, drop me a text or tag me on your photos or just share your experience. I would love to hear from you guys, and I always love seeing your updates. Until next time, keep growing, keep glowing, and love yourself. Cheers. This is your host, Sheekha Singh.